Now, I'm seeing a lot of MAGA content creators out there making videos about CNN's most recent poll about the low approval rating that the Democratic Party has. And I know you guys couldn't read a poll unless there was a fish attached to the end of it, but that poll was answered by people like me and how people like me feel about how the Democratic Party is handling this current crisis that we're in. Do you think our morals, our values, the things we believe in, the things that we fight for have suddenly changed, that's what that poll is reflecting? No shit, Sherlock, that the Democratic Party has me punching fucking holes in the walls. But this isn't the end of the Democratic Party, because it's not the end of people like me. It may be the end of the Democratic Party as we've known it, but it is certainly not the end of people like me. But here's a little history lesson. I know a lot of MAGA and the ones that now call themselves conservative, which let's not get into that, only got involved in politics once Donald Trump came into the picture. But since I've been following politics for a very long time, I remember back in 2012 when the Republican Party was all but extinct. And Lindsey Graham famously said, the demographics race we're losing badly. We're not generating enough angry white guys to stay in business for the long term. Now you're going to ask yourself where these sudden attacks that, we all as a country used to be on the same page of, that our diversity was our strength, right? How these sudden attacks came about. Well, they had to generate enough angry white guys to stay in business. And generate they did. Because back in 2012, that was the year it was likely to be the first in recent history when the majority of babies born in the U.S. were born to families from an ethnic minority background. And how do you generate enough angry white people? You tell them that they're losing their jobs to unqualified people of color and people from marginalized communities. And that was enough to get you guys to be like, okay. Remember how I said you couldn't understand a poll unless there was a fish at the end of it? Well, this was like shooting fish in a barrel. They spent the years leading up to Donald Trump's first campaign doing just that. But what did the Republican Party also do that was so different? They changed the entire face of their party. They went with something completely different than what once reflected them as a party. And usually when you offer something different to people than what they're used to, they're gonna try it. They went from stiff and boring and unrelatable to the WWE. Those are quite the extremes, if you ask me. And if any Democratic politicians are watching this video, because I know a lot of you follow me, I'm not saying you gotta go trashy, but you have to offer up something nobody has seen before. Whether that be the candidate as a person or, doing some radical shit that I know those center moderate Democrats won't even consider. But something's gotta change. People like me still exist. And since Steve Bannon so graciously let us know that they are interested in having Donald Trump for a third term, you guys need to figure this shit out like yesterday. Bye.